What's going on, YouTube? This is Big Pencil coming at you again with a nut. Got 3 more stories for you today. First story is going to be about a deer that I killed. This would have had to have been 7-8 years ago. I think it was 2010, 2009, something like that. Well, at the time, I was having a really good year. I think I had done killed 12, 13 deer, and most of them was bucks I'd killed at the club. I was on a roll. I was killing bucks damn near every time I hunted. And well, I got to walking that morning, and we hunted behind Hubert's, and I got to walking over in them briars. We turned the dogs loose, and they jumped immediately, and they run out a big old doe by me. Well, I missed it. I shot and missed. Dang, I didn't know how I missed it, but either way, I missed it. I got to walking a little ways farther, and then I jumped up another doe and missed that one. Missed another one. All year long, I hadn't missed a deer, and I'd missed 2 that day. And I got to walking a little ways farther, and I jumped up a small buck. Jumped up, it had maybe a cow horn, 4-point, something like that. But I shot at him, and I missed him too. I said, God dang. I said, boy, am I shooting blanks? I didn't know what the hell was going on. Well, I got to walking a little ways farther, and out of the blue, out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting him to get up. That buck jumped up, and he jumped up, he cut to the right into a little pathway there. It couldn't have been no wider than 10 foot. And I threw that gun up, and bam, he cut a flip. I said, ah, dang, finally I killed something. Well, it was a pretty decent little 8-point. And what sticks out in my memory about that buck more than anything is he ain't have his 3 legs. But you'd have never told me in a million years that deer had 3 legs when he got up out of that bed. That thing was flying when he got up. I don't know how the hell he can run so fast with only 3 feet, but he was moving. This is the buck here. Killed him Thanksgiving morning. I'm gonna say 8-9 years ago, something like that. And he wasn't a bad buck. He wasn't a bad buck at all. I was glad to get him after missing 3. All right, that's story number 1. Now for number 2. We're hunting behind. Let's see, where was we hunting at that day? We was hunting Burnt Bay. Hunting Burnt Bay. I got there. This was actually a afternoon hunt. Didn't have no luck on the morning hunt. We got in there in that afternoon, got to walking, we turned the dogs loose, and well, they ran out. Another pack long ways off jumped, so they run straight to them. They went straight to them. Well, they jumped, but they come back. The deer was running towards us. Well, it come back in there, and this was the first 2 deer that I killed with my Remington 1187, my black gun that I normally hunt deer with. And I hadn't shot at a deer with it yet up to that point, and I didn't know how I was gonna do with it. Well, I heard the dogs steady coming, and boy, they was burning his ass up. I mean, they was lighting his behind up coming down that branch. And well, I heard the deer when he started coming, and I seen his horns. All I could see was the tip of his horns on the other side of some myrtle bushes that was in there real bad. And well, that deer come down, and as soon as I seen deer, I knew what it was. I seen his horns, but as soon as I seen the whole body, bam! Flipped him over. He cut a flip. He never moved again. I said, oh yeah. Well, then the second deer, big doe, got to walking a little ways, and I jumped her up. I actually jumped 3 of them up. I jumped the deer up probably 10 steps from me, and I shot 1 time and rolled her up, killed her. She was dead before I even got to her. And Daddy shot at another one. Shot at that one. Had to shoot him 5 times, and finally on the 5th shot, he killed it. I had to laugh at him. I said, boy, it don't take me but 1. It take you 5. I had to laugh at him. But that was the first two deer that I've ever killed with my Remington. Next up, number 3. And then the story number 3 is a fishing story. Well, we go down to Hilton Head. We sheephead fish a good bit, and we catch black drum, redfish, whiting, spot tail, whatever you want to call them things. We catch all kinds of fish down there. You never know what you're gonna come up with when you go to the ocean. Well, me and a buddy of mine, good friend of mine, was down there one day, and we was tearing them up, catching sheephead after sheephead after sheephead. We was tearing them up. We almost had the limit. I mean, at the time, the size limit wasn't no size limit, and quantity limit, you keep 20 per man and no size limit. That was when it was a lot more fun to go. You fill up, you catch 2 limits in no time. And we was sitting there, and most of what we was catching was sheephead, but we caught a lot of black drum under this dock too. Well, I was sitting there on by the dock then. It was probably about halfway through the day, and we was in the boat under the dock. I dropped that crab down there. We was getting bites so fast you can't remember which bite it was. My God, we had 1,000 of them. I dropped that crab down there, and I felt, I mean, the way I normally sheephead fish is I'll take that crab, drop it on the bottom, and I'll pick that lead up about 5 or 6 inches off the bottom and just hold it there. And I hold it there and wait for it, and I can feel him. I done learned over the years, I can feel him when he picks it up. And then every now and again, about every 10, 15 seconds, I'll bounce it up and down to see if one happened to grab it and just sitting there with it. And when I felt that fish, all I felt was a thump, one little thump. And I seen the line moving. And boy, I set the hook into that fish, and I'd have swore up and down I hooked the stump. I mean, it didn't budge. And he didn't act like he was hooked. I hooked that daggone fish, and all he done was just slowly started swimming off. And all I could do was loosen up my drag a little bit and hold on. I fought that fish. I know I fought that fish 35, 40 minutes. Under the dock, he had me all in between the pilings, barnacles raking my line up. I don't know how I ended up catching him. It was just pure luck, to be honest with you. I mean, he had me wrapped around a pole 3 different times. Well, he swam back the same way he come, and I kept pressure on him the whole time. And he got back out, and by then I had my buddy, he untied the boat. When we got the boat untied, we got out in the open water, and I thought, I got him now. And I can get him now. Well, I fought that fish for 25, 30 minutes before I finally seen what it was. And boy, when that big old black drum crested that water and I seen what it was, I said, my God, what a black drum. I said, boy, that's the biggest one I've ever hooked in my life, no doubt. And by the time I caught the fish, I had a crowd of people gathered around. There was probably 15, 20 people gathered around watching me fight it. And well, the dip net we had, it was too small. So I told my buddy, I said, all right, now you're going to have what you got to do. And you're going to have to scoop the fish up, put his head in the net, grab him by the tail, and then I'll grab down there with you, and I'll grab him, we'll pull him up out of it. And that's what we done. He put his head in the net, he grabbed him by the tail, and I went down there and grabbed him, picked him up. And of course, he's too big to legally keep, which I'd love to have him mounted. That was a huge fish. But I took a few pictures of him, said my goodbyes, and revived her back in the water and let her go back on her way. She swam right off after a couple minutes being back in the water. Which really, they ain't no good to eat when they're that big. They're so daggone full of worms and whatnot. You don't want to eat them nasty fish. And I wouldn't want to take one that big out anyway. It takes a while for a fish to grow that big. But we didn't have a scale, but I'm going to say she was every bit of 45, 50 pounds. I mean, and that's the biggest black drum I've ever caught for sheephead equipment down in the coast, in the rivers of saltwater rivers. I mean, that's pretty big fish. But that was by far the biggest black drum I've ever caught. But sheephead don't get that big, but they fight twice as hard as any fish I've ever fought in my lifetime. Sheephead will wear your behind out. It'll break rods. I've had them break brand new ugly sticks, slam in half. And they don't play. But my God, they mighty fun to catch. But I got my dog pens built. Everything ready to go for dogs now. Just gotta handle a couple other things first, and then I'm gonna get some. It'll be back to running dogs again before you know it. Turkey season's coming up soon, and we'll get to doing something here shortly. But this is Big Pencil, and we will be back with another one soon.